The figurative language. What is the figurative language first? What the meaning of figurative language? Figurative language is language that's intended to create an image or other effect in the mind of listener or reader that goes beyond the literal meaning or expected use of the words involved. The literal meaning is the meaning of the word that no one cannot doubt it. It means that all the people who know the thing have the same meaning. That's what we meant by literal meaning. While the figurative language is something different because it depends on how the speaker see the thing. That's why the point of view will change. You know what does the figurative language look like? It looks like the special effects that are made in any movie. So figurative language is like these special effects of words that you can do it for your writing to improve it and make it more interesting. Okay, what are the types of figurative language? We have a lot of types, but right now I'm going to show you the most common types, the type that we should cover during this year. Some of them you have studied before, so we are going to restudy it again and know or study the difference between each type and the other. Let's start by the most well-known type, which are simile, metaphor, personification, hyperbole, alliteration, onomatopoeia, oxymoron, and illusion. Let's look for the word simile. A simile is a comparison between two unlike things. And when I compare between them, I use two words, whether it's or three words, sorry, like, or as, or than. It is often used to highlight characteristic of one of the items by comparing it to other item which may share the same characteristic. Similarly rely on the comparison and the audience ability to create connection and make inferences about the two objects being discussed and understand the one similarity they share. So it's the reader's responsibility to discover the common characteristic upon which the author or the writer had made the comparison. Study some examples. The first one, my mother is as busy as a bee. Now he is comparing his mother to the bee. What is the characteristic, the common characteristic that both of them are busy? So we use as because this is one of the tools or the ways of using simile. What is the small characteristic that both of them share? It is busy. So my mother is as busy as a bee. They fought like cats and dogs. Fought, the past of fight. They fought like cats and dogs. Of course, they are not cats and dogs, but the way they fight or the way they fought together is like the cats and dogs. Here, the author used like as a tool of comparison, and it's one of the tools of simile. My dog has a bark as loud as thunder. He is comparing the bark, the dog's bark, to the thunder, and what is the same? What characteristic are they sharing? It being loud. So now you have created an image in your listeners or your readers' mind by saying that it is as loud as a thunder. So your reader will imagine how loud is your dog's barking. Her love for her children is as constant as the passing of time. So she's comparing the stability of her love for her children to the passing of time. That was for the simile. The second type is metaphor. Metaphor is also a comparison, but it's a direct comparison without using as, like, or than. Metaphor equates the two things, make them equal by being compared to elicit a stronger connection and deepen the meaning of the comparison. Some metaphors, which continue for several lines or an entire piece, are called extended metaphor. It means that the metaphor extended to more than a line. As you can see here, he is saying you are as skinny as a rail, and he said, and you are a mountain. In this first one, this is simile. We use the tool as to compare the man how skinny is to a rail, and the man here in blue, he is using metaphor. He didn't use as or like to compare this one red to a mountain. Let's see some more examples. Here, smile is the sunrise. Comparing your smile to the sunrise without using as or like. Your sun was a shining star in my bedroom. Your sun was a shining star in my bedroom. The tall trees were curtains that surrounded you as during our picnic. So he is comparing the trees to the curtain as both of them surround during the picnic. Without using as or like. So this is again metaphor. The last one, the ants soldiered on to steal our desert. The ants soldiered on to steal our desert. The second type, and that you have also studied before, personification. What's the personification? The personification is attributing human characteristic to non-human thing, to connect to or to describe a non-living thing with some human characteristic. This personifies objects and makes them more relatable. So as if you are giving an object a life by describing him with the characteristic of human being. Like here in this comic, one look at the garden and you could tell that the plants were begging for water. So they are so thirsty, very hot. Of course, the plants cannot talk, cannot beg, but he used personification to give the plants a human characteristic as a way of personifying them, turning them into human beings. Examples. The chair squealed in pain when the hammer smashed it. So, of course, the chair cannot squeal, cannot make this sound, cannot feel the pain. But when the chair, when the hammer smashed the chair squealed in pain. The tree is lime, and the ground when lightning hit it. The trees cannot do those two actions, but he give her the author gave the tree a personal characteristic or human characteristic in order to give it a life. My heart jumped when my daughter entered the room in her wedding dress. The heart cannot jump, but it's a way of showing how happy he was when he saw his daughter. The last type for today is hyperbole. Hyperbole is an over-exaggeration used of figurative language. It's used to emphasize an emotion or description. Sometimes hyperbole also implemented the use of simile and comparative word. Look at the comic here. I'm so hungry. It's okay. I would eat a horse. This is over exaggeration because no one can eat a horse. But because he is hungry, he can finish the whole horse as a symbol of a huge animal that he will not be here to eat it as long as he is hungry. Let's have some example. I'm so hungry. I will eat dirt right now. Of course, no one can eat dirt, but because he is hungry, he wants to eat anything. This is over exaggeration. My brother is taller than a skyscraper. Because he would be a giant if he is taller than a skyscraper. So this is over exaggeration. The concert was so loud the drums echoed in space. As if the sound of the drums has been echoed in the space. Over exaggeration because this cannot happen. Racing through the day was a marathon run for me. So as if he has a lot of jobs and doing this through the day as if he was in running a marathon. We still have here more examples of hyperbole. I have stressed on it because I think this is your first time to learn about it. My grandmother is as old as the hills. Your suitcase weighs a ton. She is as heavy as an elephant. I'm dying of shame. I'm trying to solve a million issues these days. So as you can see in this comic, yes, what you think is small and you describe it as very big. It's very important to realize the differences between simile, metaphor, and hyperbole and not to be confused. Hyperbole, like simile and metaphor, both of them are making comparison. But the hyperbole has a humorous effect. How can the humorous effect created? It's created by the over exaggeration or the overstatement. So if in the coming slide you will have more examples for classical English literature in which the hyperbole was used successfully. I'm sorry for that. The weather was so hot that literally everything was on fire. The boy was dying to get a new school bag. The blacksmith's hand was harder than the rock. The businessman was so busy that he was attending to a million calls simultaneously. The old man was older than the Himalayas. As you have noticed, so all the sentences are overstatement or over exaggerated. And here we have in this tool, we have some examples of hyperbole. Thank you for listening. Hope you that this session was has a benefit or was very beneficial for you. To remind you again and again, tomorrow Wednesday, your due date for submitting your writing homework, and then I need to find the 4 plans in your writing, the 4 steps. The first one, which you describe the experience and the wedding, the experience and the events that you went through. And the second one, where you are describing the characters and the places. And the third one, where you are drawing the diagram that we wrote in the recorded session, or you can find it in your textbook, where you describe your life and your feeling and your thought before the conflict, and describe your conflict, describe your feeling thoughts and feeling thoughts and experience after the conflict. Moreover, you'll find in the assignment or in the October topic that day, the homework, it has two worksheets, one for the constant vocabulary and one for the noun. Thank you for listening. I hope that you have enjoyed well, and until you meet again, enjoy your day. Goodbye.